All right, let's dive into one of the absolute cornerstones of Node.js, the Event Emitter. Now, forget all the dry technical definitions you might have read. Today, we're going to look at this thing for what it really is, the ultimate party planner for your code.
So picture this. You spent all this time building a cool chat server. A user sends a message. Your server gets it, no problem, and then nothing. Just silence. Other users don't see the message, your database doesn't get updated. What gives? What piece are we missing here?
Well, the issue here is that our code is just running in a straight line, top to bottom. That function that handles the message, it knows the message is there, but it's kind of stuck in its own little world. It has no way to shout out to the rest of our app, hey, we got a new message, do something. This is what I call the silent server problem. We need a way to broadcast events.
So how do we fix this? I mean, we could have every part of our code screaming at every other part, but that's going to get messy fast. What if, instead, we hired a professional? A party planner for our code who can handle all the announcements and coordination for us.
And that's where this awesome little thing called Event Emitter comes in. It's built right into Node.js, and it's designed to solve exactly this kind of problem. So for real, stop thinking about direct function calls. From this moment on, I want you to just picture Event Emitter as your application's personal party planner. It's the whole system for managing events.
So, what does a party planner actually do? Well, it really boils down to three main things, right? First, it announces the party. That's our event. Second, it keeps track of the guest list. These are the different parts of our code that actually care about that event. And third, it coordinates all the activities, telling everyone what to do when something important happens, like the cake arriving.
Now, to pull all this off, our party planner doesn't just make things up as it goes. It's got a specific toolkit for the job. Let's take a look at the three most essential tools it uses to get everything done.
First up, we've got On. This is how you build that guest list. You're basically telling the planner, hey, when the message party happens, make sure I'm on the list to be notified. Next, you've got Emit. This is the big announcement. This is the planner grabbing the microphone and shouting, all right, everyone, the message party is happening right now, which then triggers all the guests on the list. And finally, there's .once. Think of this as a special one-time VIP pass. The guest gets in, experiences the event once, and then their name is taken off the list. Simple as that.
So, we have our tools. .on for the guest list and .emit to kick things off. Theory is great and all, but let's see how this party actually gets started back in our chat server example.
And this is the moment it all happens. It's just one single line of code. With this one action, this .emit call, our central party planner sends out the signal. It's like pressing a giant broadcast button that announces to everyone who's listening that the message party is starting. And here's the info you need. Hello world. And this right here is where you see the real power of this whole idea. That one single announcement triggers a whole bunch of different, independent actions. So how do they all know to fire at once? Because each one of them already used .on to tell the planner, hey, let me know when a message event happens. So the database starts saving, the broadcast service starts sending, the moderation service starts checking, and the best part, none of them know or care that the others exist. They only care about the planner.
Okay, so we know how to start the party, and that's the fun part. But being a good host also means being responsible. To turn this from a cool little script into something you can actually run in production, there are a couple of pro tips for safety and cleanup that you absolutely have to know. Now listen up, because this is super important. The error event in Event Emitter is special. If you emit an error and there's nobody listening for it, no guests on the error party list, it doesn't just get ignored. No, it will crash your entire Node.js application. The party's over.
So the key takeaway here is simple. You have to always have a listener for the error event. On the left, you see the disaster scenario. An error gets emitted, nobody's there to catch it, and boom, your server's dead. But on the right, just by adding a simple .onError handler, we create a safety net. The error gets caught, we can log it, and our app keeps on chugging. The party continues.
Pro tip number 2 is all about cleanup. See, every time you use .on to add a guest to the list, that takes up a tiny bit of memory. Now, if you keep adding guests but you never tell them it's time to go home, your app's memory usage is just going to grow and grow and grow until it crashes. It's a classic memory leak.
So what does this look like? Well, the code on the left shows the problem perfectly. Listeners just keep getting added, maybe in a loop or something, but they never get removed. The room just gets more and more crowded. The right way to do it, on the right, is to be a good host and clean up.
When you know a listener isn't needed anymore, you use the .off method to politely show them the door. This frees up memory and keeps your app running smoothly.
So after all that, why should you care? Because this pattern is absolutely key to building solid, scalable apps. It gives you what we call loose coupling, meaning your different services don't have to be tangled up with each other. This makes it so much easier to add new features. You just add a new listener to the party. And you know what's funny? If you've ever built a web server or read a file in Node, you're already using Event Emitter under the hood. It's everywhere.
At the end of the day, Event Emitter is more than just a tool. It's a whole design philosophy. It teaches us to build our systems to communicate with broadcasts, not with rigid direct calls. It's the difference between shouting a specific command at one person versus just making a quiet announcement that anyone who's interested can listen to. So I'll leave you with this question. Take a look at your own application. What part of it could benefit from its components learning to whisper instead of shout?